It's like, I think we've seen it where people have gotten like those big contracts, and then the team sort of talks them back into like, hey, why don't you give some of that money back so that we can go ahead and get this extra player, or maybe we can get two extra players. Okay, they restructure the contract. Then after that, maybe a couple years later, now they're letting go of the quarterback. He's thinking, oh, I thought you guys were loyal. I gave this money back. Yeah, we're just going in a different direction. This is a business decision. We appreciate you for giving that money back. But you find out all along, it's like they're already thinking about this when they give you those max deals. They know the team is going to be hand struck and they can't get any other help. So eventually, they're just doing it just to keep that player there. And then they come back around a year later. Hey, Dak, we really need to restructure your contract. I mean, you want to get to the playoffs, right? We got to get this extra piece before the trade deadline. You want to do something? Man, I just signed my contract a couple years ago. Yeah. But we just got to restructure it.
Which they did that with Patrick Mahomes, actually.
Mm.
They restructured his contract. And the reason why I just been standing on that point of like how much money is enough is just because of that reason alone, is reconstructing it and then letting go of that player eventually anyway. And especially with the CBA, it's these players who stay with this team are going to get a max contract. So PJ Washington, for example, or let's say Kyrie stays with that team for a couple of years, they're going to get a max contract. They're going to be able to get one. And when you come through that point of them getting one or them having that chance, it's like I said with the Celtics, it's like when you got $600 million going to those players, and let's say Pritchard or let's say like Marcus Smart stayed there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to have to get a max contract. That's $700, $800 million out the door. And when you sit back and you're like, man, this team costs almost exactly $1 billion to keep. It gets to the point of how expensive is the game? How expensive is a championship? What's the real reward when you win a championship, right? And I say this is because after I've watched, the reason why I'm saying like this is because I lost this guy on my team.